Welcome to myprojectbazaar.com. Okay, so this is our product title for the SVM-based web content mining with the leaf classification unit from Domtree. Okay, so this is our abstract. So first of all, we remove unnecessary information such as image, caption, footer, advertisement, navigation, and the recommended news. So here the problem is that the formats of news articles are changing according to the time, and also they vary according to news source and event section of it. So it is important for a model to generalize when predicting an unseen formats of news articles. So here we confirm that a machine learning based model is better to predict new data than a rule based model by some experiments. Also, we suggest that noise information in the body possible can be removed unnecessary. We define a classification unit as a leaf node itself. Okay, so this is our architecture for the SVM classification based web mining process. Okay, so this is the flow diagram and for the domains of data mining. So the data mining is a non-trivial extractions of implicit, previously unknown and potentially useful information from the data. So this is the data mining. So here the data mining process based, we are using the clustering and the classification process based on the SVM. SVM means support vector machine. So here the support vector machine is one of the supervised learning approach. So here the SVM is mainly used for data classification approaches. So here the first of all, the first one is the data set will be loaded. So after the data set will be loaded into pre-processing for the web data. So the online data will be pre-processed. So here in this section we are using the news articles based data set. So the particular data set will be checking for any null values is to be removed. So after the clustering process, so after the clustering we are processing for the classification, that means the data classification. So here in this place we are using the different approaches based on the data classification. It is called machine learning approaches, that means called machine learning techniques using the data will be classified. So after the data classification with we are processing by the reviews and ratings for the news articles, for example Tamil and English newspapers. So the news articles based we are finding the accuracy index, that means bounce index values to be processed. So finally finding the features for the SVM, that means support vector machine features. So again comparing for the frequency levels. So finally we will finding the frequent data, that means we are using the news articles data set, which item we will finally use, that is called frequent data. So finally the frequent data using we are making the tree formats. So this is the DOM tree process. Okay, now the demo section is start for the SVM classification based web content mining. So this is a web content mining homepage. So click to the start button, it's go for the next process. The next one is the data selection process. So click to the browse, choose data set. So go for desktop web content mining. So source dataset. So selecting the dataset 1.csv. So here the dataset is the XML format, so I converted to the CSV format. So this is our dataset. So go for next. So click to the load button. So all datasets are inserted into the database table successful. So show. So this is our dataset. Here we are using the news articles based dataset for the web content mining process. So click to the next button. So pre-processing successfully finished. So record updated successfully. So click to the show. So this is our pre-processing data. So click to the process. Okay, now the data will be classification process start. So this is the SVM data clustering the classification. So choosing the names as Times of India. So cluster. So here the newspaper, this means the news articles names as the Times of India, language is English. So we are discussing the different topics as education, sports, So these are some different topics based we are clustering our data. So save. So this particular information is successfully stored on the database. So the record updated successful. So go for next. So this is the get class field data. So here this is the classification process. It's called here we are using the languages based data will be classified. So I'm choosing the languages English. So select the data as English. So view. So here the English based details are successfully stored. So the newspaper names are Times of India, the Hindu, Indian Express. So these are some information stored. So go for next. So here now the form will be clustered. So the data are clustered. Show the cluster. So this is the clustering process. So next Gini index value. So this is the indexing values for the news articles based data sets. So this is the probability statistics for the attributes. So calculated values. So selecting the topics as politics. So partition data. So partitioning data was successful on the political attributes. So here record updated successfully. So review. So the reviews are good. So go for next. So choosing the topics as education. So this is the data will be classification process. So classified results are classified. So this is the topics is called education. So next are classified, results are classified for the education details. So this the reviews. So education, click to the this is the education based details are processed. So go for next. So this is a browsing data set. So go for desktop web mining source dataset. So general.txt. So load data, show the data. So this is the newspaper names and this is the special news for the general information. So the 12th exam start, TN governments are planning to this more people are attend the TET exam. So go for next process. So here this is the SVM classification based finding the SVM features. So here I'm taking the two attribute names is called images and videos. So choosing the images. So this is the feature. So selecting feature is called image. So this is the image based will processing our data. That means I'm choosing that means I give the condition for which images is equals to 1. So the particular details are successfully viewed on the different newspapers and the different topics and the different languages. Okay, so finding data. So finding means finding the average, that means accuracy informations for the token values. So this is the supporting and count values. So I'm choosing the topics as education, that is education and reviews. So thanks for voting our reviews. So show the details. So I'm choosing the attributes as Times of India. So view the details. So this is the general information. So this is the special news for the Times of India. 12th examination start. 7 a.m. participate the world sports meet and the 11th students problem is finished on murder. So before I'm choosing the general informations on the Times of India. So this is the time delta informations and the end tokens. So this is the different topics as the education, sports. So this is the unique and the non-unique attributes. So this is the images. So this is the feature generation process. So this is the operation and recall values. So this is a feature. So tree. So this is a web mining classification tree process as the 30 attributes. Total attributes are called 30. So view the tree. So this is the web mining process. That is this is the decision tree or DOM tree process for the machine learning based approaches. This is the performance evaluation graphs. So now the demo is finished. Thanks for listening.